Hello all, it's your girl Tiffany. Today I am going to share a recipe with you on how to make chicken spaghetti, or how I make chicken spaghetti. So of course you need your boneless skinless chicken breast. I've already washed it and everything, so I'm going to slice this up. Some people like to season it and cook it first, and then you can cut it up into cubes. Sometimes I do it like that. Sometimes I do it like this, where you can just chop it up into pieces first, and then you season it. And I do it like this because you're seasoning to get all through your meat like really well. So I'm just gonna chop this up into different pieces, and then we're gonna make it like little cube size, and then we'll get on with the rest of our ingredients. So for chicken spaghetti, some of the main ingredients, I mean, you can kind of hook it up the way you want to. Everybody kind of do it a little different, I suppose. But some of the main ingredients that you need is, besides your boneless skinless chicken breast, you need rotel. You need cream of mushroom. I also use cream of chicken, but it's not necessary. You don't have to. So you have your rotel, your cream of mushroom, your cream of chicken. You need bell pepper. You need onion. You need your seasonings. You need spaghetti pasta, of course. You need your cheeses. Some people just use just regular like Velveeta cheese. However, which is just like the regular, I believe it's cheddar. However, I'm going to add that on the top of my chicken spaghetti once I get it done. But I'm actually using Casablanca Velveeta cheese, which is the white cheese, I'm going to use that one within the mixture of my chicken spaghetti. And what else? I also use real bacon pieces in mine as well. It's not a necessity for making chicken spaghetti. It's just something that I add in mine to make it more flavorful. So, I think that's about it. I think I named all the ingredients, the main ingredients that you need. Of course, you're going to cook your chicken breast in a separate pan. While you're cooking your chicken breast, the way you like it, you need to go ahead and you can put on your pasta. You want them tender, but you don't want it overstarched. So you don't want it really super soft and soggy. And so you want it just right. You want it soft just right. You don't want to undercook it, and you definitely don't want to overcook it. So here I've chopped up the chicken, the boneless skinless chicken breast, into pieces, little cute pieces here. Next, you're going to use whatever seasonings you like. You can use like a seasoning salt. Most people just maybe use a seasoning salt and a pepper or something like that. I'm going to use a combination of seasonings. So I'm using a little bit of seasoning salt. I'm using pepper. I'm using garlic salt. And we're going to blend all of this together. I forgot another seasoning. I'm also going to use a garlic powder, which is a little bit more flavorful than just the garlic salt. So a little bit of that. I'm going to put a little bit of pepper, a little garlic salt, I also normally, it's kind of good to use a Cajun seasoning. Sometimes I like using a Cajun seasoning on my meat as well. But I just realized I'm out of Cajun seasoning, and I worked today. I didn't make it to the grocery store. I figured I had everything I needed because I grocery shopped the other day, and I decided I was going to do this later. So what you want to do is you want to blend this up and get your seasonings in really good on there. Or you can just flip them over one by one, and you can just add just a tad bit more seasoning to your liking. And once you get your meat seasoned and everything, I use, you can use whatever type of oil you like to use. I'm going to cook this down in some extra virgin olive oil. Get that blended up good. And I'm going to transfer it into this bowl here. So see, you have your seasoned chicken breast, your boneless, and it's boneless. I like boneless, skinless chicken breast. You can use whatever type of chicken you prefer. I don't like the skin and stuff like that. So I'm going to take this and we're going to put this in the pot. Just a moment. Okay, so you're going to get whatever skillet you would like to use, and I'm using a organic extra virgin olive oil here. So you want to baste that in the bottom of your skillet. And add your chicken in there. I'm going to add just a little bit more on the top of it. Okay, and then we can start cooking this down, and we can also get our spaghetti and get it on as well. Okay, so we got that going. Our chicken is cooking, and so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make some, I'm also doing some green beans, long string beans and potatoes, and corn on the cob. To go along with the chicken spaghetti. So I'm going to cut up my potatoes. Okay, so first I'm going to do is I'm going to peel the potatoes, and then I'm going to chop those up into cubes and get those on, because I'm adding them with the long green beans. You want to cook your chicken breast until it's like golden brown on both sides. You don't want it to get, you're not cooking it so it's like crispy or anything. Although if you liked it like that, you could, but you just want to make sure that it's cooked and it's done. And I'm using this surface here so you all can like literally see it cook. So it's just me and my daughter, so I'm not going to make like a really big, huge portion or anything. I'm just showing you all how I do it and show you all what I'm doing. I actually wanted to do this earlier, but it's okay. It's all good. I had to work and all of that. So this is the video I'm doing for today, just to kind of show y'all what goes on in my world, honey. So you're just going to kind of shift your chicken breast around, flip some over. It doesn't take chicken breast very long to cook, so you really don't need to have it on there for a long period of time. I'm going to add a bit of Italian seasoning on the chicken breast and let that finish cooking down. Okay, now I'm gonna just chop my potatoes up really quick and get those going. So it don't have to be anything fancy. We're just gonna chop these up into cubes. So you just want to slice your potato into pieces, and then you can cut it into fours. They don't have to be really small cubes. You're just chopping it down real quick. So you chop it in half, turn it the other way, and chop it the other way, and you have it. You have 4 different little cubes. If I didn't say, I do hope everyone is doing well and feeling well. I always like to tell people that, because you just kind of never know what's going on in somebody's life. That, you know, need somebody, haven't heard somebody tell them, hey, I hope you're doing okay, I hope you're feeling okay. So I do want to say that. I kind of have a habit of worrying about other people and how they're feeling and what they're going through as well. Okay, so we got the first potato chopped down. I'm going to do the second one, and I'm going to go ahead and get these potatoes on, because I'm going to add them to my green beans when I get those prepared and ready. I got the spaghetti on already as well. So as soon as your spaghetti, the reason why you don't want to overcook your spaghetti pasta is because you're going to add other things to it, and it's going to need to simmer in there. So you're still going to have it on. So you don't want to overcook the spaghetti. So you don't need the fire up too high or anything. And what I do is once I get my chicken cooked, I take the cream of chicken and I simmer the chicken breast in the cream of chicken. When my spaghetti pasta is ready, I take the cream of mushroom and I simmer the cream of mushroom in my my spaghetti pasta. Okay, so I'm going to transfer the potatoes to this bowl, and I'm going to rinse them really quick. Just a second. Okay, and just so here's the potatoes. And just in case anybody's wondering, I'm not using canned green beans. I'm using market side green beans, the long stem green beans. And so I simmer these down. And I fix the potatoes separately while I simmer the green beans down, and then I add them together. Okay? So I'm going to do that. I'm going to take this in the kitchen, and I'm going to get the potatoes on. Jackie, get out of there. Okay, everybody, I'm going to add a little bit of seasoning to my potatoes. I'm getting those on right now. So if you all would just bear with me for just a second. The chicken is still going, and it's about ready. So I'm going to add the cream of chicken to it as well. And you really don't need to, you don't necessarily, if you do it the way that I'm doing it, you do not have to necessarily use the entire can of cream of chicken. It depends on how much you're preparing. So if you're cooking for a big group, then you obviously would be cooking more chicken. But if not, you can use like a half a can, okay? So this is the chicken, as you can see, is basically done. Like I said, you don't want it to where it's like crispy and crunchy or anything like that. You just want to make sure that it's cooked all the way through. So I'm going to let that cook for a little bit longer. I'm going to add the cream of chicken to that. My pasta is just about ready, so I'm checking on that. I have the potatoes on. So the pasta is ready, and so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add the cream of mushroom. What I'm doing right now is I'm pouring off some of the water on the pasta. So here's my pasta. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add some butter in the pasta. And then I'm going to add my cream of mushroom. This is cream of mushroom. And it comes out like pretty thick, but that'll actually soften up and break down. So you just want to blend that in. I don't know if you all can see that. Gotta blend that in there. And I'm going to put that right on here. And you want to kind of shift around your chicken a little bit more. And it's pretty much done. I have the cream of mushroom blended pretty well in my pasta. So I'm going to let that simmer for just a minute. And I'm going to chop up my vegetables that I'm going to use. Okay, and so on the vegetables, I think I told you all the vegetables. I have green onion here. I have bell pepper. I have a regular onion. And I also have, these are bell peppers as well. So you have a yellow one, an orange one, and a red one here. So I'm going to add a bit of the red bell pepper. You can use one, or you can use multiple bell peppers if you like. I just like using more than one bell pepper in mine. But yeah, you can add as much or as little of the onions and things like that that you want. And so that is simmering really well. The cream of mushroom is simmering in the pasta. I'm going to add the rotel. So you want to make sure that you drain the juice off of the rotel. You don't want that excess juice in your chicken spaghetti. So drain off as much of the juice as you can. And you're just going to take your can of rotel and you're going to add it to your pasta. You're going to stir it up and combine it really well. Can you all see that? Hopefully y'all can see it. Okay, so we're going to continue to let that simmer. I'm going to add my real baking pieces. Sometimes I actually, put some slices of bacon in the oven and or either fry up some bacon like that. However, you can buy real bacon pieces, which is what this is. These are real bacon pieces. I'm going to add that to my chicken. You can add some on the chicken. You can add some to the pasta as well. And this is only like a 2.5 ounce bag, so you actually could put the entirety of that bag mixture in your dish. Okay. So now I'm going to add my cream of chicken. And like I said, you do not need a full can of cream of chicken. Not everybody use cream of chicken. It's something I do. It gives it more flavor to me. So it's all about, your taste buds, what you like, and everything. It looks kind of chunky coming out of the can. However, just like the cream of mushroom, that will, once it's heating up and things, that will like melt down basically. So we're just gonna let that simmer for just a bit. Okay, so we have our cream of mushroom, our rotel, and our bacon pieces added to the pasta. You can take it off the heat for now because, like I said, you do not want it to overstarch and you have to add other ingredients. Okay, so I did that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop up my vegetables. You do want to make sure that you wash, you clean off, especially during this time. You don't know who touching on stuff and doing this and that and the other to stuff while it's in the grocery store. So you do want to make sure that you rinse off and clean off all of your vegetables. Okay, after you get that done, then bit by bit, you're just going to begin to chop up your vegetables to your liking, however much you would like to put in your food. That's what you would chop. That's what you're going to chop up. So you're just wanting this, your chicken, your bacon pieces, and the cream of chicken to kind of just simmer down. You don't need your fire up high. You're just letting it simmer. Okay, so that's what I'm doing there. I'm just letting that sit there and simmer for just a bit while I get my vegetables chopped up. It is not necessary for you to use a whole onion, okay? So not even really half of an onion, considering the fact that you're also using green onion and bell pepper. Just however much or little you would like, you know what your taste buds are like and what you like, how much you like of this and how much you don't. I guess in measurements, I would say about a half a cup of onion is all you really need. I'm gonna chop up just a little bit more because I'm gonna add some onions to my potatoes and green beans for the flavor. But I'll do that in a minute once I get this done. Now on your green onion, I use one whole green onion. You do not need a whole onion, but I do use a whole bell pepper. Not the green onion, the bell pepper. I apologize about that. So you're just going to pull those guts out the inside of the bell pepper. And you're going to rinse those seeds out of there. Okay, and you just chop that down. There's no specific way that you have to cut your vegetables. However you want to chop it up. If you want to chop it up really finely, you can. If you want to, however you want to chop it up is fine, okay? So I just cut off slices of it, and then I go and I just chop it down into like little cube square. It don't have to be like real fanciful or nothing. Just to chop up your peppers. I know on like home cooking networks and things like that, they make everything like really fanciful for you and just like, you know, have every inch of every measurement of everything that they have laid out for you. But like, yeah, when real, honey, and you at home cooking, yeah, you don't really have time for the extra. I mean, some things, you know, you want to make sure you get the exact measurements for it because you don't want too much or too little, especially like when you're baking and things like that. But on something like this, you're really putting as much in there as you would like, you know, to your liking. So if you like a person that you like a lot of peppers and onions and different things like that, like, you know, nobody can necessarily look at your dish and be like, oh my gosh, that's wrong. You know, if you're somebody that don't like that much, and you just got a little bit in there, you know, you can't necessarily be wrong for that either. So, yeah, so what I'm doing is I'm finishing chopping up the bell pepper here. And then we are going to add this mixture to our chicken. And we are going to allow the onions and the peppers and everything to simmer down with the chicken inside of that cream of chicken. And it's gonna give your vegetables as well as your chicken a really flavorful taste. If you want, you can dash a little bit of seasoning on your onions and peppers and things before you add it to the chicken, just to make sure, you know, it has that enough seasoning on there or to your liking. Or whatever. You don't necessarily have to, because like I said, you already have seasoning in your chicken. So you don't want to over season your products. But I am going to add just a tad bit of garlic salt, a tad bit of garlic pepper, and just a little bit of pepper. I mean, not garlic pepper, garlic powder. You're gonna mix that up really good. This is just the onion and the bell pepper, okay? So it's gonna look like that when you're done chopping it up, and you're going to just take a handful and add it to your chicken. And that's good. That's all you need on that. The rest of that there, I'm going to add to my potatoes. Okay, on any other bell pepper that you decide to use, like I just told you, I already used a full green bell pepper, so you don't need as much of the red bell pepper. So not even a half of the red bell pepper, you know. Just a small portion of the red bell pepper. Whether you want to use red, yellow, or the orange pepper, you just need a small amount. And you're going to chop that up the same way you chopped up your onions and your bell pepper. And you're going to add that to the chicken as well. I do not add any seasoning to the red bell pepper. I've already added seasoning to the onions and the bell pepper. And the chicken has seasoning as well. So you're going to blend that in with that, and you're going to let that simmer down, simmer with your chicken real good. Okay, and last but not least is your green onion. So any bad pieces of the green onion, you just want to pull those off. Any like really soggy looking or dark parts of the green onion, you want to pull those off, and you just want to use the good part of the green onion. Okay, from there, you're going to get all your green onion together. You're going to turn it around, and you're going to chop off the stem of your green onion, and you're gonna throw that out. You don't need that part of it. And you're just gonna begin to just dice these down really fine, you know, almost minced like. Okay, so you get that chopped up real good. And you're just gonna, this is the green onions here on this end. You're just gonna take that green onion and you're gonna add it to your chicken with the rest of your ingredients. Okay? As you can see, that's what it's looking like. You're gonna let that simmer down for just a little bit more. Oh, I meant to tell you as well, if you don't want chunks of chicken in your chicken spaghetti, I happen to like chunks of chicken in my chicken spaghetti. Once that chicken is done, you can let it cool and you can chop it down like really fine. Like, you know, some people just kind of like stringy pieces of chicken in their chicken spaghetti. I like chunks, so I leave it chunked. Okay. I'm going to check on the potatoes. And I'm going to get some of this stuff out of the way so we can have more room to work. Okay, y'all, I'm getting my green beans on now. The potatoes, I'm gonna cut them down just a little bit because they're softening up. You don't want them to get to the point where they're like really mushy and things. But you don't want them like crunchy to chew either. So just turn the temperature down on that. And then we can start chopping up our cheese. You're going to chop up your cheese into cubes, however much. Again, the cheese is based on how cheesy you want it to be. So once you chop up your cheese, you are going to, and this is the cheese. This is the queso blanca, the white cheese here. I do add other cheese on top of it, and that's when it's all done and I put it in the oven and I just add another layer of cheese on it, just so it can be like extra cheesy and good. But when you add your cheese to your pasta, you're going to want to use about a half a cup of milk on it as well to help that cheese blend down. And I believe I told you all that sorry about that. I dropped the thing and it made the camera flip. I believe I told you all that for right now you have your pasta is not on any heat right now, okay? Because you don't want your pasta to overstarch. This is the reason that I said that when you're just cooking the pasta by itself before you added ingredients to it, you don't want to overcook it. You don't want to undercook it, but you don't want to overcook it either, because you add other ingredients to it little bit by little bit. You don't want it to get all mushy and soggy and stuff like that. So let me grab a knife. And then we're going to chop up our cheese. You all should be able to hear that chicken and the vegetables simmering down really good. And we're going to add this to our pasta as well in just a minute. And really and truly, from here it's pretty much done. You're gonna add your chicken and vegetables to your pasta, and then you're gonna add the cheese to it and your milk, and you are going to turn your fire on low. And allow that to melt your cheese down really well. And you can place a lid on top of it to kind of help it go ahead and melt down. And like I said, you can use as much or as little cheese as you would like. Some people are like really big cheese lovers. Other people, you know, just want enough cheese for the taste of cheese on it, but not too cheesy and things. So it all depends on what you want. However, I use a half a block of cheese, of that Velveeta block. I use a half of it for my chicken spaghetti. And then I have the Velveeta shredded cheese as well. I have the Mexican style mix, and then I also have, this is the Velveeta Mexican style, and then I have the Velveeta original. Okay, and so I use a combination of both of those on the top of the chicken spaghetti when I place it in the oven to melt that down on top of it, which it does not have to be in the oven too long. You just want to get that, want your top cheeses to melt, and it's going to give it like a golden bronze looking top, kind of, depending on how long you keep it in there. And so you'll just, you know, you'll cut your oven on about, I would say about 275, because you're not like, you don't want to bake it like that, you know, for too long or anything. Okay, so let me scoot this over here for just a minute, and I'm gonna grab my pot. Okay, this is our pasta here, and we are going to add our cheese cubes to our pasta. So you're just going to dump those over in there. You put some in there, and then you're going to take your chicken. You see how that simmered down really good with the vegetables and everything? You're going to take that, and you're going to add a little bit on the top. If you notice, I didn't put all the cheese in there because you got to blend it all. So you're just going to put some of it in there. And then you're going to mix that in, get some of that, get that pasta mixed through there. Get that in the bottom, and then you can dump the rest of your ingredients on there. Okay, So you're going to add the rest of your chicken. And I call myself making a small amount, but really and truly, like, I still could feed about, several people with this right now. It's like really kind of hard to, really making any type of a spaghetti type of anything to make a small portion, really. Okay, so you're gonna put that in there like that, and you're going to add you some milk in there. And I know how to eyeball it. If you need to use a measuring cup, I would say use about a half a cup to a cup, depending on how much you are fixing. Once I added all the ingredients, it didn't seem like it was that much pasta in there when I showed y'all before. But once you add all the other ingredients, this pot is like basically full. Can y'all see that? This pot is practically full. So it fills up quick once you add your other ingredients in there. So you added your milk in there. And you're going to turn your fire on low. You're going to allow that to simmer down a little bit. And that's chicken spaghetti, guys. That's like really the most of it. Like from here, we're going to let that cheese melt. I'm just going to put just like a little bit more cheese in here. I like mine kind of cheesy. It's really done from there. You're going to let that cheese melt in there. When that cheese is all melted through your pasta and your chicken and everything, I transfer it into a baking dish. And then I put my shredded cheese on top of it. I set it in the oven. You're going to put your oven about 275 because you don't want it to bake like that. You just want that heat to crank up and melt down the cheese that you have on the top. And it's really done. Okay? So I'm going to add just a tad bit more milk. And that's all you do, sweetheart. That's how I make my chicken spaghetti. Feel free to use this recipe if you want to. I think a lot of people probably already know how to make chicken spaghetti. Some people don't. May have never seen the recipe before. Everybody kind of has their own way of doing things. So I'm pretty sure that you all can find like other people's own little special twists on how they do things or whatever. But this is how I make it. This is how I like it. And it is so good. Okay? Like for real, for real. So, I have my green beans going. My potatoes are going. They're just about ready. I have my corn on the cob going as well. I'm going to show you all. I like to use a glass baking dish. Sorry about that. I had to rinse out my pan. I like to use a glass baking dish. I don't know. It just seems like it's better. And your things that you put on the inside of it, it don't stick. You can spray it down with some baking spray if you want to. You can put a little olive oil or something in the bottom of your pan. But this is the glass baking dish that I use. So when this melts down, finish melting down, I'm going to transfer it into this. And then I'm going to put my shredded cheeses on top of it. Okay? So I'm going to put this stuff up right here. And put all these seasonings up. So we have more room. My cat's so nosy, y'all. They in the way. Y'all can't see them, but Oh, honey, anytime I got some kind of food going, I'm cooking something, you best believe they in the way with their little greedy self. Okay. So let me put this up here. Okay, so while we waiting on that to melt down, while we wait on our cheese to melt down, and I don't try to hurry it up. Some people at this point are trying to cut up their fire, honey. You don't want to rush it because, like I said, you do not want your pasta over starched. Okay, so you leave that fire down low and let that stuff simmer in there and melt at its own speed and everything, and it'll be just fine. Okay. But while we're waiting on that to melt down, I suppose I can discuss some other topics with you all. I don't know why my thing is messing up. I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on just a minute. Okay. Okay, so that's almost done. I'm gonna go ahead and get my I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on the oven now. So when we're ready to transfer this over into the other pan, that it'll be ready. These powers that be, they stay doing something, because I'm hoping this I hope my video hasn't messed up, because for some reason it's keeping me from being able to pause my video. And some of the things when I had to walk off and go in the kitchen and do something else or get something else, I didn't want y'all just to be sitting there while I did that. But they have done something, honey, where they have prevented me from being able to pause the video. So hopefully those were brief intermissions. I needed to go in the kitchen and get other things. Wasn't too annoying while you were sitting there. I hope all these things I'm doing, y'all use them at home. Oh yeah, by the way, I love me some bread and cake, if y'all do not know, honey. So of course you have got to have you some bread with this. Garlic bread is great. I'm making some of these garlic bread knots to go with my chicken spaghetti, my green beans and potatoes, and my corn on the cob. Child, please. Look, then it's going to be so good. But anyway, so while we are waiting on the chicken spaghetti to finish melting down, because it's really ready. It's really already ready. We just need to transfer this over into our other pan. I'm going to sit this over here. And I'm going to sit this right here, because we're going to get ready to transfer this in just a minute, okay? So anyway, while we are waiting on that, because this video is already almost an hour long, and I couldn't really talk about another topic while I was, showing y'all how to do this, because I wanted to explain each ingredient and what I was doing and everything. So I needed to do that. But like I told you before, I decided that I was going to break down in different segments certain topics that I wanted to come on here and talk to you all about. So I guess I can briefly discuss it right now, and then I guess I'll come back on another video. I don't know if I want, because they doing something with my thing. So what I was going to do is, once I got this done, I was going to transfer into the other pan and put it in the oven and let that simmer down and everything. And then I was going to, make a plate and show you all, the finished products of everything that I cooked. But they doing something funky with my computer, and it's not allowing me to pause my video. It is saying nothing but them satanic powers that be, honey. So we just gonna roll with it and we gonna keep it moving. The topic that I want to discuss tonight is MK Ultra Mind Control and the Behavior Modification Program. This is a CIA created program. As I've told you all a few other times before, being a targeted individual, this is a federal run program. Okay, it's federally run, plotted, planned, scheme, organized, funded, and everything. This is your United States government who are doing these things to you, no matter what they come up with, no matter what they try to make you believe. Yes, true enough, people whom are close to you is aware that this is happening to you and this is going on. They have either been recruited or coerced or tricked into going along with this plan to target you. And some people do it just because of the fact that they are sellouts and they have been recruited into this program. They probably always have been a part of this and you never knew about it. Other people, especially your family members, your loved ones, your lovers, your spouse, whoever, a lot of times, if they were not already recruited into the program and you were unaware of it, they could have been tricked or coerced or into cooperating with what was being done and possibly even threatened. So a lot of people participate in this for various different reasons. You do have people whom I believe is afraid that of retaliation of this being done to them, or worse, if they say anything about it, if they do not go along with it, because I have the ability just to kind of step outside of myself and look at my surroundings. And a lot of the people that I see doing these things, I'm talking about people, especially people that you know. Especially people that you know that stay popping off at the mouth, they couldn't hold water if it was in a cup, honey, okay? They stay gossiping, they stay running their mouth. And for these people to keep such a tight lip about what's going on, who is involved, when you are able to identify those close to you who are taking part of this, who are stalking you and harassing you, who are, they got the little slick shots and the little wisecracks, they use encrypted type of messaging in certain trigger words that they are using and certain things that they are saying, the hand signs, the symbolisms, the colors, the signs, all kinds of things that they have tried to sensitize you to and have these people to do around you. When you are aware that the people closest to you are partaking in this, if you are able to look past what you're dealing with for just a moment to look at these people, it's almost like they have to do what they are doing. Some people you can just tell that these people are recruited. They just, some kind of evil, some kind of wicked, and it's like they do it as if they're playing this game or something, but it's not a game. When you are sabotaging and ruining somebody else's life, it's not a game. People die behind this. People completely lose their livelihood and everything behind the things that take place and are going on and everything. So some people you can tell are afraid of not going along with this plot, with this plan, with this scheme, that they have to work against, the target or whatever. And then you have those that you can clearly tell they just a part of this evil, wicked cabal, and they done sold out into this, and is like being a part of this group or this gang or this in crowd, and and they take pleasure in making somebody else's life a living hell. But you have those who you can tell is almost like they are being forced to do this. They can't say nothing. And when you know people who stay popping off at the mouth, who stay gossiping, who can't hold water if it was in a cup, honey, and they so tight-lipped about what's going on and what's being done and things, and you know that there is some bigger power in behind the things that are going on. So, I believe that that's a whole nother video in itself. This video is already an hour and something long. So I think I'm gonna come back with my dinner and show you all that, and we're going to talk about MK Ultra mind control. We're going to talk about behavior modification programming. We're going to talk about a human experimentation that has been taking place on American citizens, and really and truly not even just American citizens. Like I've said so many times before, we are Americans, we are in America, so more often than not we look at things at face value, what we dealing with, what we going through. But the fact of the matter is there's a lot of people in a lot of other places who are dealing with this, who are struggling with this, and you know, who are just battling this on a daily basis. So and a lot of people seem to be unaware of mind control. These people never stop, and this is public information. You can look this up, okay? They did try to make people believe that they were no longer using this technology, but that's a lie. If you think that the United States of America have a weapon, a successful weapon that they created and they were successfully using, if you believed in when they told you that they stopped using it, then you just a fool. No. They just stopped making you be aware that this was going on, that this was happening, but this is still taking place, okay? So we're gonna discuss that. This is the chicken spaghetti, you all. I'm transferring it into my bake dish, my glass baking dish. Sorry about that scraping noise, honey. So you can see it's melted really nicely. It's nice and cheesy. We have all our ingredients in there. I'm gonna turn this off. Okay. So let me see if I can lift this up so y'all can get a good look at the chicken spaghetti. This is the chicken spaghetti, you all. Okay, so I'm going to add my other, I'm going to add the other cheeses on top. And like I told you, I'm using a mixture of the Velveeta Mexican style shredded cheese. You really don't have to add other cheese if you don't want to. You can leave it just like this if you want to. But I like putting this extra cheese on here and sitting it in the oven for just a little bit. And this is going to melt down on top of it. And you're going to have you a nice layer of cheese on the top of it. And so when you get you a big scoop up out of there, it's going to be nice and cheesy and delicious. The other cheese I am using, this is the Velveeta Shreds Original, okay? So we also going to put that across the top of here. Okay, let me show you all this. That is nice and cheesy. You got your cheese on there, everything. Okay. And I'm sorry, guys. I hope you all are able to see this really well. I totally forgot to turn on this other light. Sometimes when I use this light, it ends up being too bright. And then if I just use the regular light in here, it almost seems like the video is too dim. So, let me just put this in here because I literally just thought about this. I apologize, you all. See, sometimes when I turn that thing on, honey, it be too doggone bright, okay? But there go the chicken spaghetti, you all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this in the oven I'm going to allow this to melt down. So I'm going to put this in the oven. And if you want to, you can place a little thin layer of foil on top of there. Hold on just a minute. I'm getting my green beans out of here because they're nice and tender and they're ready. I'm going to add my potatoes in here and put some butter on them. Yeah, you can put you a single layer of foil on there if you want to, but you really are not going to leave this dish in the you're not going to leave your dish in the oven for too long. So you really don't have to worry about it. You can toss it in there real quick and let that melt down real quick, and you can pull it on out of there and it'll be ready to go. And that's your chicken spaghetti, y'all. It's all ready. It's all done. Here are the green beans and the potatoes. So we got those nice and tender and looking good. Can y'all see that? We got the green beans and the potatoes. And these green beans are better than your canned green beans. So they do cost a little bit more, but I mean not too much. So you want to put you some butter on there. And you want you can use some sea salt. You can use garlic salt, or you can use regular salt and pepper just to give it a little seasoning. So I'm going to put a little salt and pepper on here. And that's it all. I mean, that's it, you all. I said that's it all. That's it, you all. That's all it is to it. So that is my dinner. I know it is late, honey. I gotta stop eating so late. But I'm not gonna eat all this tonight, of course. But I might have a bite or two, and I have me some for tomorrow for lunch or something before I go to work or do whatever I got to do. I just wanted to go ahead and get it done. My daughter already had her dinner for the night. So she has already eaten and she's in bed. But I did want to come on and I want to share this with you all and show you all how I make chicken spaghetti. And I've just been trying to come up with some different things to do and share with you all while we talk about these very serious topics of things that is happening to our people in this world. So I hope everyone enjoyed the video. Let me put these things aside just a minute. So I'm going to put this back over here. And I'm going to add my other onions and peppers to them and let that simmer down with that. And that's going to be all ready and set to go. Okay. So that's it, y'all. It actually don't really take that long. It's a quick meal to fix. You can feed several different people. Whether you have a big family or you have a company over or some guests or something. You can feed your friends or your loved ones. And that's just one of those meals that you really can't fix a small portion of, you know. So it's more than enough for you to share with other people. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a plate together real quick and just show you all the finished product. I have, I think I told you all that I love me some bread. So I would suggest having you some type of garlic bread or Texas toast or something, whatever type of bread you like. To have with your chicken spaghetti. Not everybody like bread like that. I love me some bread, so it's not too many meals that I can eat without having me some kind of bread. And I didn't make the bread from scratch. You can actually buy these in the store, and they're called garlic knots. So it's just like garlic bread. They like twisted, you know, garlic knots of bread. Okay, and that's it. That's like all you do. I put my onions and peppers also in there on my green beans and my potatoes. So those are simmering down on there. I'm going to make a plate and share with you all. And I do apologize for, like, you know, the brief intermissions where I got to go and grab something else or do something else real quick to show you all in the brief moments of silence when I'm not talking. But like I said, these powers that be, honey, I don't know what they have done. But it seems like every time I get on to record or do something, they do something. They either fooling with the lights, do something with my computer or phone or something. So usually if I had something else to grab or do, I'll just pause it real quick and then I'll come back and finish off where I left off or whatever. But it's not letting me pause, you all. So, you know, just bear with me. I'm going to make a plate and I'm going to show you all the finished product of everything. So too bad you all can't come and sit with me and have a meal. Because, I don't know, I like cooking and I like feeding people, but I don't have company and I don't have friends and family like that. So when I cook, it be for us. And that's it, honey. Okay, so we just gonna wait just a few more minutes on that, and I'm gonna pull this dish out the oven and place it on here, and I'm gonna share this meal with you all. Like I said, the topic, and since this video is so long, I guess I will come back and just do another video on this topic. But while we're waiting, we can just finish discussing some things When it comes to MK Ultra, this is used. A lot of people who have spoken on this assumes that this MK Ultra mind control is just used on celebrities or government officials or people in power. This is actually used on regular, everyday, average Joe people. Um, this is something that has been used on myself. This is how I know I'm aware now that I have been a target my entire life. Once you are awakened and you are aware that you are a targeted individual, you are able to look back over your life and can kind of get a better understanding of things that is happening in your life and things that's going on. And because of that, I know that I have been a targeted individual my entire life. There's several different things as far as trauma that has taken place. The trauma-based mind control is another tactic in which that they use to try to shatter the brain, to place you under mind control. And that is something I have experienced as well. Um, the trauma based mind control is where purposeful trauma has happened to you or is done to you in an effort to control you. Whether you were physically abused, mentally abused, emotionally abused, sexually abused, being neglected, being bullied, being and it happens on various different levels. Of course, it starts right within your own family. And it'll go on to happen in your church if you go to church. It'll happen at school, and you will have this, essentially, this lifelong timeline of different trauma that you have experienced and you have endured. And this is what has happened to me as an adult. There are several different things that can be done to you. If you have a job and you're doing the best you can do on a job, and you just have people that's want to pick with you and mess with you and get you fired on purpose or cause you to lose your job, or people that's jealous of you and envious of you, and because of that they attack you, they do things to set you up and all kinds of things. Like, I have lost a job several different times when I done nothing at all, but protect myself and defend myself. I've had times where I've lost a job, I've gotten fired on my day off from work, and that's crazy. But I mean, there's several different things that can be done when it comes to trauma-based mind control. People can also come into your life, be assigned to you and sent into your life, and you go through domestic abuse. So you can be in a relationship where you were beat, where maybe you was put in a situation and you was drugged or sexually assaulted, where people are assigned to you and purposely sent into your life to and they'll cheat on you on purpose, lie to you on purpose, and these are all traumatic things, okay, that will affect your life in various different ways. So mind control is used by using several different tactics. It's all about manipulation and control. If you think about these satanic powers that be, everything these people stand for, and everything that they do, is about power, it's about manipulation, and it's about control. Everything that they come up with, everything that they create, everything that they say, everything that they do, at the end of the day, it is all about control. There is a wide scale of mind control that is being used on the entire human population altogether, in various different ways. But you have those of us whom are targets, who are affected more by what is happening to us, what is being done to us. Um, and so we suffer a lot more, we endure a lot more, with what we go through and the things that is happening to us. However, once you are deemed a target, you are essentially, most people say blackballed, or you're blacklisted. This is where, you're essentially put on this hit list. You're red listed. So anywhere you go, whether it be trying to get a new job, enrolling your kid in school, or you enrolling in school somewhere, or even going to get a bank account or something somewhere, you are flagged. And whatever information they put in on you, you will be blacklisted. So which means you will be blocked or prevented from getting certain kind of jobs. You will be blocked or prevented from succeeding. In certain instances, you would be blocked or prevented from making any substantial amount of money. And life is just in itself made to be a living hell for you. But this mind control is used on different people in different ways, and specifically for targeted individuals. When it comes to the behavior modification program, mind control is used to try to alter or change your behavior. So say you are somebody who is outspoken. If you're an outspoken type of individual, if you have been deemed as a truther or a supposed conspiracy theorist, I don't like titles. You can't put me in a title. I'm just me, and I'm just real. Whatever I speak on, I don't like titles. You can't put me in a certain group or classification with anybody, because I am set apart for a reason. So, and I'm a leader by nature. I'm no follower. So, I don't like titles. I don't like certain groups being classified as this, that, or the other, because I am a leader. But when they try to put certain titles on you, they will use a form of this mind control to try to modify your behavior, and to in order to try to modify your behavior. So say you are outspoken, you won't go along with the status quo, with their agendas, with their propagandas, and say you are speaking against secret societies, you are speaking against things happening and going on within the government that you have noticed is blatant lies or is wrong, or you point out their signs and their satanic signs and symbolisms and things like this, you will then be flagged. And to try to modify your behavior, they cause trauma in your life. So they may make you, all of a sudden you could have problems with your children, you can have problems within your relationship. They could cause say an accident to happen, cause you to get hurt or something. They cause something, they do something, just like when you are made aware that you are a target, because it's a certain part of their programming where they can target you. They can actively be profiling you, watching you, stalking you, harassing you, but they do it in, they have a covert way of doing things and they have an overt way of doing things. They can do it in a way where you will not know. There's a lot of people who are targets right now who do not know that they are targets. Then they do something when they want to maximize the effects of them targeting you. They will make themselves known. They do something because they're using this mind control on you, will make you aware that you were a target. Now when you see certain things, this is being done to target you. They're watching you. Everywhere you go, large amounts of people show up, and different things that's going on, and they do this in an effort to try to modify your behavior. You are paying attention to the fact that you are being watched, you are being stalked, you are being harassed, you have been isolated, you have been neglected by your family and your so-called family and your so-called friends and people that you thought loved you and cared about you. See, that's another tactic of their program as well. They want you, this is the reason why they want you to lower your self-esteem. This is the reason why they try to discredit you. Even if they have to make things up, they'll try their best to try to discredit you, to shame you, to blame you, to demonize you, to criminalize you, to make you out to be a bad person or have done something wrong or something, which is completely preposterous, because that's not how the world works. That's not how karma. So you know full well this is not karma. Okay, this is not God attacking you in this way. God ain't never needed the help or the assistance of no witches or no demonic devices or illegal technology. To do anything against its people. Okay, this is not even the law, because if this was the law and a person in fact had done something wrong, well, that's the reason why you have a judicial system in place. This is the reason that you have due process in place. Okay, so if you had committed a crime, for say for instance, they would just, they would have a warrant out for you. They would come and get you. They would come and question you, this, that, and the other. So these people are not justified in nothing that they're doing, but a part of their mind control is to try to put you in a state of fear, to make you worry, to make you afraid. Now you're isolated, you're by yourself. They want you feeling like you got nothing and you got nobody, and they want you, this is at the point where they try to push you to either be suicidal or homicidal. They want you to lash out and hurt yourself and feel like, oh, I got nothing else to live for, and kill yourself. And they also try to push you to even become homicidal or try to hurt other people, because then they can place a title on you and say, oh my gosh, they're mentally ill. Oh, see, I told you, they're a criminal. Now we're going to institutionalize them. Now we're going to imprison them because they're a nuisance to society. This is what they do. These are the games that they play. This is what they call games, but it's no games, because they are seriously and they're really sabotaging and ruining people's life. This is the reason why it's mind over matter, okay? And you have to stay in control of your mind no matter what, because if you're not in control of your mind, they gonna try to control your mind, and they use this MK Ultra mind control to do so. They use their behavior modification. So anyway, saying all of that, they'll do those things because, and now you know I am constantly under attack. So the modification comes because while you're focused on being attacked, you may not be creating videos anymore. You may not be out protesting or marching or reaching crowds of people telling them, hey, whatever you're speaking about, that you're outspoken about, or whatever it is about you that, that has made you a target or whatever. So that's where they try to modify your behavior. They're using this to try to alter your way of thinking. People are also unaware with this behavior modification. They are using this to hook people up with each other. And what I mean by hook people up with each other, people who may not have necessarily been attracted to each other, they can make it so they are literally hooking people up together. They are breaking people apart. They are changing people's sexuality. So a person, this is how you can see a person who has been heterosexual their whole life. Now all of a sudden they, now all of a sudden they have homosexual tendencies. And what will happen is they will put them on blast to have them exposed for being gay or homosexual when they in fact set it all up. They have manipulated this person's mind into believing that they are homosexual and they want to try this and they want to do this, and then that they will have them put on blast and exposed for doing so. So now this person is forced to have to come out, and this person is confused in their mind because they may have a wife, they may have children. Nobody ever knew them of having this type of behavior or these type of tendencies. Now all of a sudden it's like, this is what they are using mind control and behavior modification for those things as well. They are using this to alter people's viewpoints on Christianity or their faith base. They are essentially changing people's mind frame to want to be Satanists, to embrace being Luciferian as well. So they use this for various different reasons at various different times in various different ways. And it's very sinister what they're doing. So, and it's just, it's really bad what's happening. Okay, everybody. So, like I said, I just wanted to briefly talk about that with you all while we were waiting. Our chicken spaghetti is done now. Can y'all see that? That cheese is melted on there. All good. This is your chicken spaghetti, everybody. So, I am going to share this dinner with you all. I hope everyone enjoyed this video. So then you just take your spoon or whatever you're going to use. And now it's time to eat, baby. So you put as much or as little as you would like. I don't have to tell y'all how to fix your plate. Come and fix your plate. Get as much as you like. And we gonna eat. Okay. So I'm gonna move this out of the way. I'm gonna set this right here for just a minute so you all can see the chicken spaghetti there. And voila. This is the finished product, everybody. Can y'all see that? So, you have your chicken spaghetti, your garlic knot roll, your corn on the cob, and your green beans and potatoes. Enjoy, my babies. I thank everybody for watching. I know this was a long video, but hopefully you all enjoy it. And there you go. I know that light is a little crazy. I told y'all that light is, sometimes it can be like is too bright. Does that look better? Can y'all see it better like that? Okay. Anyway, we all done. So, honey, you get you a nice cup of juice or a soda if you would like. Or some nice cold ice water. And enjoy your meal. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Peace, love, and light, everybody. And I may be back tonight to finish the conversation that we were having on another video. But I did want to share this meal with you all. So, enjoy.